Well, here we go.
Wow.
Boris has spoken.
The Boris has spoken.
He has spoken a number of
Wow.
times this week.
So, and his hair mainly his hair. I mean, you always have a go at mine. Wow, Boris is looking good. I mean,
you are looking well kempt compared to our Prime Minister, I have to say.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel quite happy about that. Yeah, so that's what we're going to warble about today, isn't it? And this,
Boris's hair?
No, about the move out of lockdown.
Yes, we are.
The roadmap. The roadmap.
Roadmap. Yeah. So what do you think then? What be you thinking since Monday?
Interestingly, actually, yeah, we're now recording. Well, this is going out on Friday, the 26th of February. Yeah, I've had a little bit of time to sort of digest it, and it's a weird one because initially, from a personal point of view, I was thinking, cracking, lovely, June the 21st, here we go, this is brilliant. And then I looked at the diary and the calendar and went, that's still quite a long way off. And there's all these key points and, things on the way through. So I'm not 100% sure how confident I'm feeling that we're actually going to get there and things are going to be like that. And from a business point of view, you've still got to consider all these things going on. I don't know about what your thoughts were.
Confidence is a good one. We'll come back to that in a minute. Yeah, do you know what? I put a post out on LinkedIn on Tuesday morning because I'd kind of listened to Boris on Monday night, and I'd been out for one of my runs, and managed to fall over a wet rock and sprain my ankle. So I was sat there with my foot up, with a swollen ankle, listening to the Boris. And when he'd finished, I thought, I actually feel quite positive about, probably more positive than I've felt for a long time. And I know that will come as a huge surprise to viewers of our podcast, because we're always positive chaps, aren't we? But I think we will look back on this period. It'll be 18 months, won't it, by the time we finally come out of lockdown, pretty much, and we'll go, my God, how did we get through that? So my initial reaction was, this is the beginning of the end.
Yeah,
which I thought was great. And then Tuesday morning I woke up and I did take the dog. I hobbled around the dog with my sprained ankle, and as I was hobbling around, going to the park, I saw this beautiful bunch of primroses, and I thought, you know what, the spring is here. We have finally got our roadmap out of all of this rubbish, and yeah, the world is good. So there was definitely a level of confidence I felt, both about my own business, but also about kind of generally how I was feeling about life. And of course, we know that when people are confident, the economy will start to bounce back. People will start to spend. People will start to invest. People will start to take on new employees. So I think, if nothing else, of course, there are lots of deliberations over the time frame, to your point that you've just made. But if nothing else, I think there is a renewed confidence about the country, and I think that's to be applauded.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It gives people somebody to move towards, doesn't it? People have that idea they're going to go, and so they have, in terms of flight bookings and all of that sort of thing. Which then throws up a really interesting, from a business point of view, is that, okay, there is a renewed confidence and people's perception of things changing, that, these dates are going to come and then everything's going to start reopening. What if it doesn't? So I'll be the doom and gloom, well, not really doom and gloom, but the cautionary tale. This happened previously. We went into the summer, things weren't bad, and then we went back down again. And hopefully, absolutely, let's make sure we get out of it this time. But what are the plans in place? So this roadmap we mentioned, for each business over these next 6 months, because we want to go beyond that, and even maybe 9 months, what is the real roadmap? What do the what ifs? Do you know if there's a decision to be made and there's forks in your roadmap, which direction you go? If somebody, if your hospitality, if your leisure bookings down in the lovely Southwest, and everybody come on down here and spend your money because you'll have a lovely time. Are you in a place to be able to say, actually, we're not opening on that date? Here's the process we're going to go through, so that your customers are really, really confident to even book it now, and to say, we know we're confident to book because if on the 17th of May or whatever date it is, things still don't happen. We know that these lovely people at Night Leisure, whatever I call myself, have decided that they are going to, I've got 3 options and I know that it's going to happen, and I'm very clear in terms of my customer journey, my steps going forward. And that, again, going back to your lovely terminology about the confidence piece, that still keeps the confidence going. So it still is an uncertain time at the moment, and we're going to be bumpy, it's going to be bumpy on the road towards it. So what are you doing from your business point of view to be as what's the word I'm looking for, to be as open and transparent as possible?
Well, just picking up on a couple of those points, Rich, we talked, didn't we, going into this all those months ago, about how the businesses that would win, my favorite word, would pivot their business, that would pivot into doing things differently. And I think the same applies now. So the same applies now as we come out of this from a roadmap perspective. Your business model will pivot again, because we're going to move back to some kind of normality, let's hope. But of course there will be a new normal, because we know, I was listening just before I came onto this podcast, there's a large supermarket chain that are about to make a lot of people redundant because their model is fundamentally changed, and they believe that their online model has moved forward 10 years. And I know we've talked about that before. So the new normal will be different, but it will be, it won't be as alien as perhaps the current normality we find ourselves in. So, being aware of that, and being aware of what your clients and customers will want going forward, is more crucial now than I think it was going into this, because going into this, lots of businesses had lots of government help and support. Coming out of that, it's going to be a different matter. And when that government support begins to dry up, you are going to have to be on your A game to build your business back up. And so confidence is important. And there's a key thing here for me, Rich. I see it time and time and time again. When I'm trying to access my bank or my insurance company or my gas and electricity business, and what I'm about to say, you ring up and they say, you're in a queue for 15 hours. You are number 935 in the queue because our people are working from home. We know they're working from home. For God's sake, we're not stupid. And those people are fed up with that level of experience now, so there is continued confusion about how you access products and services. And I'll give you a great example. I had booked I booked some flights to go away, and I had an email saying it basically been cancelled. And to be fair, this particular airline, orange in colour, for those of you who are wondering who it is, had given me 3 options. And I thought, okay, great. One was to rebook free, it said. One was to get a voucher, and one was to get a refund. And when I looked at the rebook, I thought, well, that's quite good. It says free. So does it mean, question mark, I can get any flight I want and just move that currently? Okay, obviously it doesn't. And when I looked at the small print, it could be a different airport, but in the same country. So if I booked, for example, to go skiing, but now I wanted to use that flight to go to Alicante, I can't do that. So confusion, right? I thought, well, maybe I'll ring up and just check. No number to ring up. You can't contact us. You have to do it via the app. The second option, get a voucher. I thought, great. Well, there's an option. I can get a voucher, and then I can rebook my flight to Alicante. But you've only got that option for 12 months. Well, who knows if we ever get, who knows in 12 months' time whether or not we're going to be able to go away. And then the third option, which is really the option I'm going to take, is the refund. But we can't guarantee when you're going to get it. So confusion reigns. Okay. Yeah. So I'm now in a position where there's a lot of money sat behind those flights, and I'm like, well, I need a refund. I'm going to have a refund, but when am I going to get the money? How can I then rebook something to go away when I want to go away? So classic example of poor client customer communication causing confusion, which brings us on to the third C, communication.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's one of the critical things. It's always a really interesting one, this, because you've got those people who have been locked down and not been operating, and God, they're really looking forward to opening up again at the various stages, so on and so forth. And there's lots you could talk about whether that's a good, bad, or indifferent thing, and who should be going first, and etc., etc. However, there's also those people who have continued to operate all the way through this. And I always find that really interesting, because they've almost got to a new normal, if you like, where they're still operating professional services, B2B. They're still doing things. They're not doing things in the same way, but they've adjusted, and they're still carrying on, and in some cases doing really, really well. But then there's going to be more changes coming on board again now as well. So from a communication point of view, it's probably even more critical now that those businesses who have been operating are asking their clients, who have been interacting with them throughout this whole period of weirdness, how are things going? Are we still doing the right thing for you? Because as we keep mentioning, the expectations are changing from our customers. We knew that when everything was going online. They want it quicker, they want it easier, they want it now. Is that still the case? Are we still needing to do this for you? Is there something else we need to do for you as we get to this June date, into July, and then we move back into a new normal? So it's, there's lots going on. So, it is absolutely the time to keep asking and keep communicating with the customers and potential people as well. So not necessarily just your customers, but what's the general feeling out there? Are you reading up in terms of the confidence levels of people and organizations? Are you listening into Insight 6 with across the UK and the information we're hearing, and getting the idea of confidence levels have dropped or increased, or people are staying local? Are they still wanting to stay local even when we get to June the 21st? Are people still going to go, do you know what, I'm still going to stay local even though I feel safer, because it's a bit more of a habit for me now? So do I stay around here? So habits have been forming over the last year and what will be 18 months in a consumer's way of interacting. And are those habits going to be broken? Quite a few of them probably going to stay the same, that online presence, all of those sort of things. So you've got to keep asking. Are you still asking? Are you using instant insights, our marvelous feedback in the moment, real automated feedback system to ask what's going on? So, there's loads to do there.
There is, isn't there? But keeping it simple, because we like to do that, because we're simple chaps, aren't we? It is the 3 C's, and not our normal 3 C's: communicate, communicate, communicate. No. But will your business give your customers confidence? Will you cause them confusion? And will you communicate in the right way to stop that confusion? So confidence, confusion, and communication are the three core tips that we're talking about here, in terms of getting people to understand the importance of talking to their customers. And of course, instant insight is an amazing tool to do that, and we'd be more than happy to speak to people. So PM us on our LinkedIn profiles if you'd like some more information on that. But the reality of life is some business owners might be listening to this thinking, yeah, you know what, Rich and Ryan, we've heard this all before. You talk about the 3 C's. You talk about, making sure you've got a plan. But, guys, if you're sat there thinking that and you're not doing it, if you don't have a plan, then plan to fail, because, you won't be as successful as your competitors are. We talk about our customer experience pendulum a lot in Insight 6, but, are you ahead of that pendulum? Are you being really proactive? Understanding your customer sentiment and where what they want from you, because if you do, you'll be amazingly successful.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's the opportunity to we'll leave this in the comments underneath as well. The customer experience readiness checker as well is available. So if you're not sure, 12 questions, fill them in, get a free report, a few tips on what you can do over this period of roadmap, a renewed roadmap out of this. But also, as we come to the end of this wobble, next week, we're actually going to be talking to Susanna Braid-Waring from Aspirin Business Solutions. So, we're often, people say, yeah, but you talk about theory of customer experience and things like that. How does that operate in terms of the real operation of a business and strategies? We're going to talk to business coach Susanna about what you can do. What are the key tips that she's got for you in this time of moving along? So, obviously with a focus on your customers, because hey, if you're operating and your processes are right, and you're looking at the strategy in the right way, it's clearly going to have an impact on your customers. So I'm going to be chatting with Susanna next week. So please do tune in for that one as well.
That'll be really interesting, isn't it? Because we talk about the 3 processes within customer journey mapping. You know, your process, your employees and your clients and your customers. So, you know, real opportunity to listen to what Susanna's got to say. That'd be an exciting one to listen to. So, guys, just to recap, remember, get your plan together. We're coming out of this. Yes. Confidence. Yeah. Don't confuse people and communicate. Really simple stuff. Now, just one final plea from me. Please like, share and comment today's post. We want to get to more people. We want to share more of our great tips and ideas with them. So please, if you can share it, share the link, get on Spotify, get on Apple Music, you know, share, like and comment on YouTube. That would really help us. So I've been Ryan Huxtable.
I've been Rich Knight. Lovely to speak to you all again, and stay safe.
Stay safe.